both proposals, which are deeply upsetting. In terms of the international high-level waste dump, the thing that absolutely gets me is what they propose is to import this waste and store it above ground in our state, years before they work out where we're going to put it. That is crazy. Absolutely crazy. And to find out more about some of these concerns to do with safety and economics, I'll pass you over to Professor Barbara Pocock, who is talking on behalf of the Mothers for a Sustainable South Australia. They've been doing a fantastic job going around to communities around Adelaide, talking about the concerns they have with this proposal. Please welcome Barbara.
Who know what it's like to be really busy, rearing a family, being in your community. Lots of people never have time to get to a rally like this to find out about stuff. And when this report came out, you know, we thought it's our turn, we're going to pay attention. It's a big document. Let's try and get our heads around it, and let's talk to our community. So we had meetings in our local communities, and tomorrow we've got a meeting in Stirling. You're all invited. We'll have to increase our cake supply, but we're talking to our community about the issues, and the more we read about this and the more we talk to people about it, the more concerned we are about the economics. We all know, like all of you, that our state is in a crisis in terms of employment, and we need creative thinking, and we need leadership to create quality employment for kids. All of us. And we need to do some new things, no doubt about it. But this proposal is not the job solution, and it has some really important hazards, and we're talking particularly specifically as Mothers for a Sustainable South Australia about the deep geological storage and the importation of high-level nuclear waste. And the economics of it are such that people out in our community are being told there's a big pocket of money to be taken. $51 billion net present values. That's today's dollars, and it's a lot of money. And that's what people are thinking about. But we want to tell you about 3 assumptions that underpin that number that you really need to talk about with everyone around us in our homes. And the first assumption is that we're going to get a really big price for every tonne, for every tonne of this waste that lands on our shore. We're going to get, in this model, $1.75 million a tonne. Now, there is no market for this stuff. If you can tell me the price of coal in a month's time, you'll be a wealthy person. We can't predict the price of commodities that have had markets for a century. There is no market for high-level nuclear waste. It's not commercially traded. The price is a guess. First problem as an economist. Second assumption is about the cost. The cost for building this really complicated thing is $145 billion. That's a big number.
We can afford that.
That is 70 RAHs. Okay? And that, remember, it's never been built anywhere in the world. The Finns are used as an example for this. They haven't built their dump, they've just got a license to begin building a dump for an amount of waste that is 6,000 tonnes. In this model, we are projected to get half the world's available nuclear waste, which is 138,000 tonnes. 20 times more than the Finns. And the Finns are planning to bury, and they are burying it because they believe they have an ethical responsibility to bury their waste, which is at present going to be, and in the future when it's buried, transported just a few kilometres. Okay, so we're building something costing $145 billion, and we know that the RAH cost $2 billion. And it blew out by 25% in a few years, right? We all know it's in the advertiser regularly. We're now going to put a lot of money into something where the costs in the nuclear industry notoriously blow out. So it's a big spend, and it could cost a lot more than expected. And the third assumption is around the amount we're expected to get. As Craig said, first law of economic theory, If there's a lot of profit to be made, new people come into the industry. If those profits are real, there will be new people doing this stuff, creating new dumps and putting the waste in dumps which they're going to build in their own countries, in America, in China. Many countries are going to dispose of their own waste and they will come into the market. So the quantum, that huge amount of waste, is critical to generating a big profit. Craig also mentioned one other really important thing, and that is the plan is to take waste and hold it above ground, and that's essential to generate the cash flow to make the model get into the black. You can't just take the waste and put it in a high-level dump and make money. The report is clear in black and white on that. You have to hold it above ground, generate the cash flow, and then you start to get into the black, if every other assumption holds. So as a group of mothers, we're paying attention. We ask you to have conversations with your community about this, because the danger is we're looking at something which could make the state bank disaster, $3 billion, look very minor. That costs us a lot of money as taxpayers, and it cost us 20 years economic confidence. We need good ideas, we need leadership, we need investment, but not this one. Thank you.